What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and today I'm going to be joined by Kenny Havoc, and we're going to be reviewing the 2006 movie Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. I reviewed the first movie about a month ago and stuff, and I'm planning on reviewing one movie each, at least once a month and stuff, until I get them all done and everything. And so today I'm going to be joined by Kenny Havoc. Before I share his part, I'm going to go ahead and do the plot synopsis. This one picks up not too long after the first one. Norrington has been let go and stuff due to the events of the first one, and a new person named Beck has taken his position and is sentencing Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann to death unless they get this compass that will lead to the heart of Davy Jones in this that's in this chest. And Davy Jones is actually after Jack Sparrow because he owes him his life debt and stuff. So Jack Sparrow is actually looking for the heart too, and so Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann team up with Jack to try to find the chest and stuff. Along the way they find Norrington and as well, and he's looking for the chest so he can take it to Beck and maybe get his life back. But there's a lot of subplots in this movie, but they all work out really well, and a lot of it is paid off in the next movie and everything. But so before I get into my full thoughts on this movie, I'm going to go ahead and let Kenny Havoc do his part. So take it away, Kenny.
Hi guys! Look at me appearing on multiple channels. Today we're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. And let me just say, Disney, you thought you could trick me. You thought you could trick us all, but I'm smarter than that. Disney, you think you slick? I see through your lies. I'm gonna expose you right now. You literally just went Control-C, Control-V, and made the exact same movie. And I'm about to tell you why. Both of these movies are the heroes and villains coming together in a race in order to try to collect one or multiple magical MacGuffins, with the ending being the villains end up winning, while the protagonists die in the end, and it's setting up very nicely for the sequel that'll come out the year afterward, in which the heroes are all brought back for the final battle that goes about 20 or so minutes and ends with the heroes winning, killing the guy that we previously thought was unkillable in the last movie, and also leaving us more sequel time, even though all the sequels are bad. Dead Man's Chest does do it better, though, because in this movie, it's literally just, the heroes versus the bad guys. But in this one, it's only 5 people after the chest, and they all have their own reasons. Jack wants to not be killed by a kraken. Will wants to save his dad. Norrington wants his life back. Beckett's just a greedy little Davy's like, you 4 mofos, get away from my heart. That's mine. Now, Thanos was overall a good villain in that after he won, which, yeah, he did win, so that's nice already. After the movie was over with, people were still talking about it like, was Thanos kind of right? Which is something that you never see in movies, like people discussing whether the villain was correct and them actually winning. But what made Dead Man's Chest so good was that Davy was also in that role of sympathetic villain, but not sympathetic in that you understand why he's doing what he's doing. It's just he's sympathetic because the movie constantly buries him underground, which is something very nice because early on we established that the best way to describe him is ironically and rather perfectly heartless. The man who literally ripped out his own heart and buried it underground because he was that broken. For a movie as silly as Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl was, for them to go from Barbossa to Davy Jones was night and day difference. He was just the most realistic character probably ever made. Not just Pirates movies alone, but I'm talking almost all of cinema. someone who was left heartbroken, left empty inside, so he decided to take out his anger on everyone else, collecting different sailors, capturing and torturing them, turning them into martyrs, and just before delivering the final blow and sending them straight to his own personal hell, he offers them the chance at salvation with the simple question, do you fear death? Combining that with the killing of the different people in the beginning, who said that they didn't fear death, telling Jack he needs 99 more people for him to kill, and finding out that Bill is Will's dad, so he makes him whip his own son, is further proof that he has just been completely destroyed by love. Because of how broken inside he was, he unleashed his anger, and he no longer resembled a man. To everyone who saw him, he was a monster. Overall, this is a very weird movie. They just kind of throw some stuff on the screen like, oh, there's some cannibals here. Oh, there's magical witch girl. Oh, we can bring people back to life. Oh, there's a kraken too. Yeah, we're just playing fast and loose with the rules here. But it really works in the movie because the first movie kind of played with that as well. So they leaned into a little bit more here. And of course, Davey was just that cold dose of reality that brought everything back down. Well, with everything getting a little bit more silly and hyper-realistic, it's nice that they made such a grounded, perfect antagonist. One of the best antagonists in all of film. Maybe not the best, but top 3, definitely. So, thanks, Ogre Boy 1992. Back to you. Subscribe to Kenny Havoc and the Monkey Business Podcast.
Thank you, Kenny. I'm glad you could join me on this video. It was awesome having you on here. And I agree with a lot of the stuff you said. And I never really thought about the stuff about like the Infinity War and stuff being like this one. If you think about it, Empire Strikes Back is too. But I thought that's actually a really good comparison and stuff. But yeah, so I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a blast from start to finish. I always enjoy watching this one. And like Kenny said, a lot of people say that it went all downhill from here, but personally, I absolutely love this movie. And I completely agree that this is a really fun movie. Johnny Depp is just excellent in this movie as Jack Sparrow. Once again, he steals the show, and he's more of a main character than kind of a somewhat side role and stuff. And but every character gets their time to shine at some point or another in this movie. Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann get their moments too, and I really like that about this. And there are so many epic moments in here and stuff, and like zany situations that the characters get into, like when the crew of the Black Pearl are in these ball cages made out of human skeleton, and they're hanging from this thing, and they have to swing back and forth to get a hold of the cliff and climb up it and stuff. That scene is a lot of fun to watch. It's really intense, but it's also really funny and stuff. Really well written. And then when Jack is like running on the beach away from the cannibals, that scene always just cracks me up, and his escaping from the cannibals is just a lot of fun. I know a lot of people didn't like the cannibals and stuff in this movie, but I thought that little side plot was really funny and everything, and it just made the movie feel a little bit more fun. And then like the bar fight in Tortuga is really funny when we first see Norrington again and stuff, and like see how he's become and everything. That scene is always a lot of fun to watch, and I really like Norrington in this movie. I think he does the actor that plays him does a really good job in this movie. And then you get like the epic fight, three-way sword fight between him, Will Turner, and Jack Sparrow, and that scene is the highlight of the movie. Probably my favorite scene in the entire franchise. I just absolutely love it. It's so fun to watch and everything. And it's amazing like how that scene is more epic and more fun than anything that happened in as far as like the lightsaber fights and stuff in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It's like how is Star Wars, which is known for the epic lightsaber fights and stuff, not got anything on this Pirates of the Caribbean movie? I don't get it. Like what has happened to you, Disney? And there's also a lot of other great moments in this movie. I love, like, we get to meet Bootstrap Bill, and the stuff with him and Will on Flying Dutchman is really, really good, really well written and stuff. And it was cool finally getting to see Bootstrap after they had kind of anticipated him being in here after the first movie and stuff. Like they hyped him up, and I thought it paid off pretty well. And Davy Jones is, I honestly think Davy Jones is a great villain. I completely agree with Kenny Havoc on that. And he's easily the best villain in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I love Barbossa and stuff, but Barbossa is kind of like a anti-villain, because he was the villain of the first movie, but he was also at the same time really likable and really good. Davy Jones is really creepy and intimidating and stuff. He's scarier than Barbossa ever would have been, and he feels like a threat and everything. And every time he's on screen, you feel a sense of dread and everything. And he's just really great. Bill Nye did such a really great job playing him. And I love like this movie has a lot of really great practical effects. Like the visuals in this movie are amazing. It has tons of practical effects, and it also relies a lot on CGI with Davy Jones's crew and stuff, and they all look amazing too. It's like really sad how like a movie that's almost 15 years old has better CGI than anything that comes out nowadays. Like this, the CGI in this movie looks better than any of the MCU CGI or the DCEU CGI or pretty much any of the stuff we get nowadays. This movie holds up way better, and it's a really good example of mocap used right. The only thing in the MCU that ever has really come close to being as good as this is maybe Thanos, and that was just, I guess, because of how high the budgets for the last two Avengers movies were. But like the CGI is just absolutely amazing, and it still holds up really well. Hans Zimmer's score in here is just epic, and fits this movie once again really well. And especially like the scene during the sword fight, the music is just really, really great. But there's a lot of really great moments with the score in here, and I just absolutely love this movie. And Gore Verbinski's directing is great, and I love the darker tone. Like the original one was already pretty dark with the zombie pirates and stuff being really creepy and the curse and stuff, but this one adds to that lore with cursed pirates and the creepiness of the characters. Like a lot of them look really, really creepy and stuff, especially like in the darker scenes when you can see them, but not as good as you do during the daylight. But I was afraid like during the daylight they would look really bad and it would have aged really bad. But like I said, the visuals are just amazing in this movie, and they still look really gross and stuff in the daylight too. So they did a really good job with all of that, and everything. It sets up Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End really well and everything. I have mixed feelings on that movie, but this is a really good one that's like in between. I think this one's really underrated. I know a lot of people don't like this one very much, and I honestly don't get why, because it took everything from the first movie, upped it and everything. It expanded the world that the first one was introduced in without making it worse or anything. They did a really great job with this movie, and I think it's a lot better than most people say it is. So I'd say I'd give Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest a 9.5 out of 10. I just absolutely love this movie, and it's easily one of my favorites in the franchise, if not my favorite movie in the franchise. But thank you again very much, Kenny Havoc, for joining me on this video. It was awesome having you on here. If you want to join me in reviewing at World's End, you're welcome to. Just let me know if you want to. And be sure to check out his channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. And hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.